Howdy, partners! Welcome to the Haunted Chronicles, episode 116. Deborah Maxfield of the Greater Texas Paranormal Society joins us tonight and will join us shortly. Tonight's episode is sponsored by Evian Natural Spring Water. Evian spring water starts as snow and rain on the peaks of the pristine French Alps. Imagine that. Protected deep in the heart of the mountains, each drop filters through layers of mineral-rich glacial sands for 15 years. Pure as nature intended. That's Evian. Thank you. I am Mr. Haunted, joined by Jennifer Baby Soft Running and the baby-faced assassin, Brock Burrows.
Hello.
YOLO.
Hey, hello.
So it's the best part of waking up is what kind of water were we drinking?
Perrier.
Folgers dropped us as a sponsor, so we're not going to mention them anymore.
Yeah, they're gone. Bye-bye.
Boo.
The Garden Weasel's still on board, though. The Garden Weasel's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And travel ways.
Mm-hmm.
So what's new? Or earthquake or anything? Or anything
No.
We had an
no
earthquake.
earthquakes, Brock?
No.
No earthquake. Okay, so I did.
Tell us.
I did. Honestly, I was sound asleep. My husband is working on a show last night with a comedian, Reggie
Jackson.
Whatever his name is, but it's coming on Netflix, so I'll let you guys all know so everybody can watch him. And Reggie Katz, I think his name is. But anyway, so I'm sound asleep, and Nova, the dog, is here, and all of a sudden, 1:15 in the morning, the dog starts going crazy, and I sit up, and I'm like, Nova, stop. And then I thought, wait a minute, why is she barking? She's got, something's really, she's growling and, just freaking out. And so I stopped for a second thinking, oh my God, is there an intruder? I'm alone. This is creepy. And then I heard the rattling, from the skylight in my bedroom. And I'm like, oh my God, we're having an earthquake. I don't think I would have ever felt it if the dog hadn't sensed it before it even started. So she knew it was coming. Crazy.
Yeah.
They have that intuition.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Animals can detect that really fast.
Oh, she was not a happy little puppy last night. Yeah.
But did you have a good week?
That was my earthquake. I had a great week. Great. I finished with my kids. I've been kidding my little group of kids at the high school. Each class, they went through their 3 phases, and I'm now on summer vacation. How about you, Brock? How was your week?
It was pretty good. It was a short week. We had, of course, Board of Visitors meeting on Monday. And then we went to a staff retreat, and we hiked the Cascades down here in Virginia and to the waterfall.
Saw these pictures. Unbelievable. So pretty.
Yeah,
right?
and I recorded all that with my new GoPro, and it turned out really nice. So, it was a lot of fun. And then I was off today because I had a friend come up that I haven't seen in a while. So we just hung out and had a good time. So it's been a great week. So
good.
So how you want to ask him? I think you should ask him.
I want to retreat into a corner and cry on my hot cocoa.
You do?
No, you can't do that.
Is anybody in the chat? I can't see the chat. My
Yes.
computer's down.
Don't worry, I got your back.
And it makes me sadder than a baby Tuscaloosan pygmy chipmunk with diaper rash and cradle cap.
Oh, you got me with the cradle crap.
I saw that in an article this week. I never heard of it before. Cradle cap.
Yeah, that's
some kind
babies.
of
Babies get that.
Did you have cradle cap? I don't know if I have cradle cap.
No.
I don't remember.
No one ever told me I had cradle cap, not crap. And I don't think my kids did. So I think that's a good sign.
Yeah. So this week, I think we were off last week, right? Was it last week we were off?
Yeah, it was your birthday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy birthday! A week later.
Yeah, happy birthday.
I had a bunch of animals that if you've noticed that I've been posting. I bumped into a raccoon the last 2 weeks, a possum, a chipmunk, and a baby bird.
Aww.
So all the animals are coming to me.
Yes.
For help.
We're just going to start calling you Dr. Doolittle.
I think so. We're going to start a new show.
Yeah.
This is a baby animal show. All right. Before we get to our guest, she's waiting patiently in the green room.
Mm-hmm.
Deborah Maxfield.
Yes.
Celebrity birthdays.
Yeah.
This week. Peter Dinklage.
Yes.
And now he's a little fella, right?
Okay. Yes.
He was in Death at a Funeral. And I didn't make this stuff up. He was in Little Fugitive.
Ooh.
Pete Smalls is Dead. And Elf. And, of course, Game of Thrones.
And
Dinklage.
Yes, and he also was in a movie that I fell in love with him in this movie, and it's called The Station Agent. Everyone should watch it. Great movie.
Station Agent.
Station Agent. And his name is Peter Dinklage. And Brock, you want me to go?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll go first. Okay, I'm going to say Peter Dinklage is 41.
45.
Brock. Peter will be 47 this week.
Oh. Okay. Very good.
We didn't get a buzz or a ring. That's good.
I know.
Oh.
I know. It's like we're waiting for a little cue. Okay.
And I have Gene Wilder has a birthday next week. He was in Haunted Honeymoon, Young Frankenstein, The Scarecrow, See No Evil, Hear No Evil, and, of course, was Willy Wonka in 1971's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, my goodness. How about 70?
84?
He'll be 83.
Oh, man.
And
Dang.
about Gene Wilder, I was telling the kids how you used to have to wait all year to see certain movies. Like,
yes.
they show them once a year.
That's right.
And Willy Wonka was one of them, like Wizard of Oz. Like,
yes.
they played it once a year, and that was your only opportunity to see it.
And Cinderella. Remember the black and white Cinderella with Leslie Ann Warren?
Yeah.
When she sang this musical? Yeah. At once a year.
Once a year.
Yeah.
Do you hear that?
Yeah.
One more. I got two more. Malcolm McDowell, who was in Sanitarium, Silent Hill, Vamps, and was Dr. Loomis in 2007's Halloween, Island of the Dead, and A Clockwork Orange.
Oh, man.
Malcolm McDowell.
I always think these people aren't that much older than me, but I know they 77. Jumped in there.
73.
Correct.
Yeah.
73.
Yes.
Oh, God. I gotta study people's ages or something because I
See,
really am.
You messed me up because you said not much older than you, and so I'm thinking 20s.
Right.
Yeah.
For people that don't know, we have to hire someone for the show to hit that gong in another room when there's a correct answer. So there's a little guy in that room.
Yeah.
That hits that sound effect. Thank you. One more. Courtney Cox.
Oh, okay.
Who was in Alien Love Triangle.
Mm-hmm.
Murder, She Wrote. And I added that in because our host, Jennifer Runyon, was also in Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah.
Twice, right?
Yeah, twice. Yeah.
Cocoon, The Return, and was reporter Gail Weathers in the Scream movies.
Yeah.
Courtney Cox.
Oh, my. I'm going to say 52.
Whew. I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to say 52.
Yeah.
52 is correct.
Oh, yes.
Good one.
She's
and that sort of reminded me of the Gail Weathers corny name when she was a reporter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you guys, but we have reporters in our area that obviously they aren't their right name, like the correct name. We have a Storm Field, an Amy Freeze, and around the country there's a Dallas Raines.
Oh yeah, he's here. I was just going to say when you don't. Yeah, we have Dallas Raines, and he's a weatherman, and he's like George actor with the perpetual tan.
George Hamilton.
George Hamilton, him with the silver hair and the constant tan. It's hilarious.
And I was wondering why only weather people have those kind of names.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the sports guys aren't named like Freddie Football and Eddie Extra Point, or it's like just the weather people.
Yeah.
Right, that bombed. Okay, so guess what? We have a guest tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
With founder and lead investigator for Greater Texas Paranormal Society, Deborah Maxfield. Deborah, you there?
Yes.
Deb, how are you today?
Well,
I'm good. And yourself?
We're good over here. We're excited to talk to you.
I'm excited to talk to you.
Awesome.
The crazy thing going on tonight, there is a high goat running around the green room, and Jimmy is still trying to catch him. That's why he's on the phone, guys. Melissa brought her goat in, and the goat apparently has been smoking weed. So.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Bless his little heart.
So Deborah, where are you from? Where in Dallas? You're not. Are you near Dallas?
Oh no, I'm about 2.5 hours away.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here in San Marcos, Texas.
Okay.
An hour away from Austin and an hour away from San Antonio.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. I love Texas. Great state.
Yeah, I lived in New Jersey, and I just moved here about a year ago.
Oh, I
very
didn't know
good.
that.
Very good.
Because I was going to ask you about a story when you lived in New Jersey when you were about 2 years old or so.
Yeah. Well, actually, I thought it was kind of funny because, well, I was only 2, but my dad was in the Navy, and until he got out, we lived with my grandmother, who used to live in a haunted house.
Mm.
And, like, my grandmother used to put, like, a plate on the table because if she didn't, like, the chair would shake and try and move up to the table, which was kind of funny. But I always thought it was my grandfather, like, playing a trick on me.
Uh-huh.
He was always playing around. So, and then the canned goods in the pantry area would be, like, either rearranged or on the floor. If my grandmother was out in the kitchen cooking dinner, like, her pans would be rearranged, and it was really weird. But, you know, I really didn't know at the time.
Right.
And then if they ever babysat me, I used to have to sleep with them because the bed would shake and the covers would get, like, tugged and stuff. So I would just laugh, you know, until I got older, till I, you know, understood.
Right.
But needless to say, they moved out of the place like a year later after that. But, yeah, it was crazy.
Oh, my God. I can't even imagine.
What were people's reactions when that happened? Like, different family members, did they say anything or ignore it? Or?
Well, no, they were just, like, into it. One of my aunts were born with a half a veil over their face, which was my grandmother's sister. But they used to come over to visit, but they thought it was, you know, just, I don't know, normal, I guess.
Right.
Okay,
can you tell me, though, in case somebody might not know, what does that mean to be born with half a veil?
She could predict if someone was going on the trip. She would tell them, oh, please don't go because, you know, I just feel like something bad is going to happen to you. Or don't go into the store because you're going to get in a car accident, or, you know, something like that.
Oh,
which, yeah, I didn't understand that until I was older either. So I guess I was about, like 9, 10 years old. But, yeah, that was really strange.
Yeah. So she had a gift. She had did she use it?
No, well, back then, she only told certain people because, you know, I guess, everybody mostly in my family is deceased now, so I really couldn't, you know, ask her questions because I was still little when, you know, they passed away.
Right.
So, I guess she just kept it to herself, actually.
Wow.
You know, within the immediate family, but some people, you know, she told, like my mother told me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I got to know, and that was my mom's sister.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask my mom if I had a veil or a cradle cap tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had cradle cap.
You have cradle cap? I'm sorry.
So when you were talking about that, I'm like, oh my God.
Okay, so what is it? Is it it's like a little rough, dry scalp, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't even know what they put in my head. I mean, there's nobody to ask around now, but I did.
Oh.
Or Deb had no.
I had hair. I wasn't bald when I was born. I mean, I had hair, and still I had, you know, the crap. But yeah, it's like dry skin.
Yeah, that's what I
put on my
if
hair.
I remember from the baby books when my kids were little, I remember reading about it. Yeah.
Yeah. And when then I'm going to jump ahead, and we're going to hear the second half. We're going to hear your own personal stories from investigations and stuff. But there's also a story we talked about when you were 14 or 15 that kind of...
Oh, yeah, with my mother.
Yeah. What happened there?
Well, my mother was a character. My dad used to work for Trenton State Prison. He was a senior security guard, and then after Trenton State closed, he went over to Bayside State Prison. And he always told us two girls, if you ever got in trouble, I'm going to take you to jail. So here my mother, after my father, we used to go to bed, my mom and I used to take the car, and we used to go into these abandoned houses. Well, this one house was, you had to climb the fence because the front door was locked and a couple of the windows out front were boarded up. So my mom's idea was, okay, well, we'll park down the street and we'll go to this house. So we had to climb the fence. So we got in the back there, and it was a sliding glass door that was in the back. And all of a sudden, we heard the cop sirens on the car, so we figured the neighbors called the cops on us. So my mother threw me under the bus, actually. She started running. She ran. I never saw this woman run in all my life. So she ran. I was kind of like right behind her, and she's telling me to hurry up. She climbed the fence over, and she's like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. I was laughing so hard I couldn't climb over the fence. She had to help me. She dragged my shirt. We ran to the car. We took off, and I was still laughing in the car. And I'm like, oh, my God, what if Dad catches us? You know, he's gonna put us in jail. She's like, oh, don't worry about it. But, oh, my God, she used to take me to these houses. Either they were getting, like, remodeled or abandoned. And I remember that same house, it had a long driveway going up to this house, and they were trying to remodel inside, but they still had, like, stuff, like, all over the floor, like yarn and trash and just a lot of, like, creepy. I mean, this house was creepy. This was the creepiest house she ever took me to. But that's okay. She was my mom. What are you going to do? I figured, okay, well, I can't get in trouble. She's my mom. You know?
Well, how fun, though. I would have done that with my mom if she would have done it. That's
yeah,
awesome.
And she even took me out on mischief night. Like, we used to, I'm like, oh, my God, you know, this is my mother. I'm going to go to, you know, my dad's going to take us both to jail now.
Well, you had a little partner in crime there. Did you feel anything in that house? Did you see anything or hear anything?
Well, the stairs were kind of creepy. It was a real old house. You know how they had the thin stairs that go up, like, between the wall and the banister? Mm-hmm. So that's how I could tell it was a real old house. And then I had a size 9 shoe, so of course, you know, on my tippy toes going up the stairs because they weren't really wide enough for my feet.
Mm-hmm.
My mother, she's okay. She's a 7. I'm a 9. So that's how I knew it was like a really old house.
Mm-hmm.
But after we got to the middle of the stairs, we didn't even get to go upstairs, and that's when we heard the cop sirens come. And we thought they were coming after us. But we passed them, actually, on the street. When my mother turned the car around, we were going back the other way, and they were going the other way. So they weren't even looking for us. I'm like, just keep going. I'm not even going back to that house. Like, that was an omen. Okay, the cops are driving past us. Just keep going.
Did you ever find any treasures?
Actually, one of this, well, on my mother's side of the family, my grandmother, they had 6 girls and 3 boys. And one of the aunts found some money in a fireplace after they were remodeling.
Yeah.
So this is what my mother told me. I mean, I wasn't actually there. But they found money in an old, how would you describe it? Kind of like, not a knapsack. What is it? Like a
satchel? Whatever a satchel is.
Like a burlap bag.
Yeah.
And I don't remember, how much money was in there. But when they did the bricks on the fireplace, when they were redoing it, it was like in a bag like that, like a little coin bag or burlap bag, whatever. But it was hidden inside between the stone, and then I guess somebody remodeled over that, but it was in between. So that was kind of weird. I don't know how much money they found, though.
It's interesting. Treasure hunt story.
Mm-hmm.
And for I'm not in the chat, fellas, so sorry, but please like Deborah's page on Facebook. It's the Greater Texas Paranormal Society. Thank you.
And I put the link in the chat room.
Thank you, Brock.
Yep.
We have a couple minutes before break.
Yep.
I lost my like I said, my computer's down, so I'm all frazzled over here. But I want to thank these following groups for sharing the event page today: Appalachian UFO Research Society, Paramania Radio, Paranormal Planet, Electric City Paranormal, On the Fringe, Midnight in the Desert, Big Bear Ghost Seekers, Natro Paranormal, Best Paranormal Radio and Podcasts, Paranormal Cat, Utah Spirit Seekers, and, of course, the Greater Texas Paranormal Society.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Oh, thanks.
Yay.
That's you. I'm trying to find something that takes 2 minutes before we start a story, but could you tell us, how did you start investigating paranormal? Did you go to historical sites or cemeteries, or did you just jump right into residential homes? Or
I guess I jumped right in. My husband said, well, why are you doing all this for? Like, why don't you set up a Facebook page? And, I'm like, okay. So that's what I did. So, like, with my mother, going out with her, and getting us in trouble, I figured, okay, I'll go out on my own, and I'll do a Facebook page, and it's been going on from there. I mean, we do a lot of house investigations, but we have done some, historical sites also. But I get more called in, well, a few businesses actually I've done, and more house investigations.
Do you prefer
I'm excited.
a residential or a historical, if you had a preference?
If I had that's kind of hard. I would say both. Because every residential case that you do is different, but then yet your historical places are different too. Like we do all the research, we try and find out as much as we can, either residential or historical. I do both.
Cool.
I was saying because residential, of course, you want to help the people,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to provide answers, hopefully. And with the historical place or something like that, just kind of you go in and you go out and you're done.
Yeah, that's true too. Mostly the residential places that we've done, I mean, we've helped the clients. I mean, as much as we can, especially if they have children. I mean, that's my number one priority. But, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard. I mean, you pull up history on both, like the land on residential, and this one time we went out on a residential, and it used to be a pig farm. So, yeah, and it was land before they even built the house. So, I mean, that's how much research we do. So, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask the question. I was just thinking.
I'm so curious.
Did you ever get an animal EVP?
Oh, hey.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
we have. Yeah. We investigated, this is really weird. It was a pet store, actually. They don't have pets in the store at all.
Right.
They only bring in pets when they're doing, what's it called, adoption and stuff. They'll bring pets in.
Yes.
But the night we did the investigation, now I was in back of the store, my researcher and investigator was in the middle, and my husband Harry was at the front of the store. We got an EVP of a cat meowing.
Wow.
I mean, all of us. And we didn't hear it with our own ears. Otherwise, I mean, we had the store covered. That was what was weird about it. So
that treasure question and the animal EVP question were totally not talked about before. I just threw them out there. Thank God you had good answers for them. I'm sorry. We're at break time already. Yeah. We'll be back with more Haunted Chronicles after these important messages. Welcome back to the Haunted Chronicles, home of your guaranteed halftime shout-out. And I'm in the chat room, so I could actually read these names off. Thanks for joining us in chat. Dr. Dave, Indy Dwayne, Paramedic, Brock, Barry, Tiffany, Mark, Ace. Ace, thanks for staying up. Maggie Renee, Dead Dude Chad, Debbie D, Kara E, Doug, Tony, Sprinkles, Randy, and Desi. And I think I got everybody, and people listening tomorrow is Frankie B, Corey, and Junebug. Thank you.
Yay.
Did I miss anybody?
Nope. You're good.
Good. Hi.
Hey.
Welcome back.
Hey, we're back.
YOLO.
Deborah. YOLO. Deb, can you tell us some of the more interesting cases that you've investigated and the story behind them and what happened?
all right, I was called in for a residential investigation, and it used to be an old boarding house that had 27 rooms, and it went back to 1883.
Wow.
So this was where I was going to throw Mike Dolan under the bus.
Oh, the Mike Dolan story. Okay.
Mike Dolan is from the Demon Files show. Yeah. No, I'm not going to throw him under the bus. He's a sweetheart, actually. He helped me, actually, on this investigation because I was short a couple people. So I wanted to pair people up to investigate this house. And anytime I needed help, Mike, chimed in all the time. This was, the third investigation he went on mine, actually. And the woman was trying to sell the property because her parents died. And she painted like all the rooms like different colors, like a light lavender, dark purple, light tan, dark brown, just to give you an example. So we all went on this investigation. So I paired Mike up, and he's so quiet too. Like he hardly said like 5 words to me. But actually, I got to tell him like what to do and who I paired him up with. But you never heard a peep out of him. He's like, okay, like whatever, wherever you want to send me, that's fine. So I paired him up with Chuck from Chuck's Paranormal Adventures. And they were up on the 2nd floor, actually. And in the dark purple room, that's where we got the most activity. And they got, it sounds like 13 ghosts. This was on the obelisk. And after the 3rd floor, I had them come back down. There were 2 apartments downstairs on the 1st floor. So I had them go into the vacant apartment. And they got, well, Mike left from the kitchen, into the living room area. And then on the EVP that they got, it said, where's he going? And then they both heard leave, with their actual ears. So that was interesting. And this house went back all the way from 1883, like I said, and it used to be a boarding house. And then it was vacant from 1972 to 1979 until the woman's parents bought the house in 1979. So she was trying to redo it after her parents were deceased, after they bought the house. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And then Chuck and I, when we were in the dark purple room, once again, we saw like a shadow like going up the wall, but we couldn't catch it. Actually, we just saw it with our own eyes, but we didn't capture it because we didn't have a video camera with us at the time. So that was kind of weird.
That's cool.
Yeah. But that was the... I'm sorry.
No, I said that was my contribution. Okay. Was this New Jersey or Texas?
This was in Jersey with Mike, yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering how Mike got there. Okay.
But another investigation, which was interesting too, Mike helped me on another house investigation. So, and this is how we met, actually. While I was home, I was so sick, I had bronchitis. And a gentleman called me from Toms River in New Jersey. Uh-huh. So I couldn't go. So my husband went up there, and Tony from Behind the Wall Paranormal, and Mike went to help out. Once again, this guy was a whack job, I'm telling you. Tony even said to him, if you ever contact us again, I'm going to have you committed.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, I know. No, this guy would play his recorder like the whole, and even his wife was getting aggravated at him. So he wouldn't even let us hear his recordings or anything. And this was the second time. Second time, right? I'm asking my husband. Yeah, the second time we went up there, well, they went up there, actually, to investigate. And, well, do you know where Mike works? I don't know if you know or not.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and Tony works with Mike, and Tony said to the guy, well, you know what? If you ever contact us again, I'm going to have you committed. He wouldn't let us listen to his recorder, like, oh, I got some EVPs and everything like that. And I'm like, oh, my God, really? Like, they're calling me at home while I'm sick on this investigation. Like, Dad, don't even, like, bother with this guy. But, that's what happens. Another time, we went out to a residential. It was only my husband and I went out to a residential investigation. They had everything propped for us.
Like what?
Like what? Yeah.
They, oh my God.
Like set up stuff ahead of time?
Yeah, set up stuff. And we didn't know it. Yeah, and we didn't know it at the time. But after we started like debunking stuff, I'm like, no, it just doesn't seem right. So I said to Harry, I said, you know what? And the owners of the house weren't even in the house. I don't know where the heck they were. I said, you know what? We are so out of here. So I called the owners. I said, okay, we're leaving. It was like an hour and a half into the investigation. I'm like, we're out of here. And then they came up in the car because we were waiting for them outside. I said, you know what? Don't ever. Well, I told them off. If you want to know that.
Do you find that?
I'm not going to say what I said to them, but
right.
I was mad. I mean, we wasted our time, our gas, and everything. I was so aggravated.
Can I go back really quick to the guy with the that wouldn't let you hear his EVPs? I'm just curious, what did he say was happening there? I mean, and what was his reasoning for not sharing that with you? If he's wanting you to,
he kept saying that God talked to him to do things. But I'm like, okay, well, if you're Christian okay, I don't have a problem with that. Seriously.
So he really didn't have a haunting?
No.
Wow.
No. And even his wife was sitting there, my husband and even Tanny and Mike were telling me, oh my God, well, the guy was sitting there and said, well, God told me, like he was hearing voices like in his head,
right,
which I didn't know at the time.
Do you find that happens a lot? Like, do you find that when you get the calls, and you do all the homework and how often does this happen that you get people that are crazy? I mean, I hate to say that because most people think people who see ghosts are crazy, but we know that's not true. How often do you get these people?
That was the only time. That was the only time.
God. So then you and your husband go to Texas. And how did you start your group there? I mean, did you go there for this reason or did you go there for another reason and go, well, we're still going to do our ghost hunting?
No, I used to live in Austin for 17 years until my mom got diagnosed with cancer.
Okay.
So then I moved back to New Jersey. So she passed away and everything, and so my dad's with my sister, so he's well taken care of. So we're retired. We live in a retirement community. I think it's like, I don't know, very interesting.
So no, do you have anything unusual that you find happens in the community you're in? Do the folks know you do this?
Yeah, they know. Yeah, they have some stories and stuff, like where they used to live. And it's I love talking to the elderly. No, I can't say they're elderly because I'm old too. Well, they're older than me. I think I'm the youngest one that lives there. But,
yeah.
No, they have some interesting stories, and I love to hear them.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like what happened to me as, a young girl, and they just have wild stories.
I love ghost stories. I love hearing people's ghost stories. What's the best one you've heard from one of the folks at your community?
This woman, she said she still owns the house, actually, and it's haunted. And it's only in this one particular room, but they just closed the door and, put stuff in there for them to play with or whatever, and that's it.
Wow.
See, I never investigated there, so I don't know, but this is what, was told to me.
Right.
So I can only go by, what she says. But, yeah, that was interesting.
Wow.
Deb, you had a few EVPs on your webpage, and I got them late, and I wasn't able to convert them before my computer went down. But what are some of the EVPs you've gotten from places?
Well, the EVP, the cat meow, and then we got few EVPs from the Ocean Grove house where Mike helped me on that one. And then we got this other house investigation was in San Antonio, and we were asking a question, well, I did, are you still here? And it said hi, which we had to keep looping around to, get the hi out of it because it was so faint. But it was a woman's voice. And then the next one that we got at the same house was, I forget what question I asked. And then, are you still here? Are you still with us? And then it said, it's me. And then we were up in the upstairs bedroom in one of the little girls' room. And we were asking, did you used to work here? Are you a banker? Did you used to work on a railroad? And then the question was asked, are you a Chinaman? And I said, and it was a male's voice actually. And I said, well, I never. Okay.
You were a Chinaman?
Are you a Chinaman? Yeah, that was one of my investigators' questions. Are you a Chinaman? And then all of a sudden, on all of our recorders, because I had 2 trainees with me, and we all got it on our recorders. The same thing. Well, I never. And it was a male's voice.
That just reminded me quickly, on an investigation, this woman she was using her regular phone as a recorder, and she was getting EVPs every time she asked a question, and I tried to get them, and I couldn't get anything on any of my equipment, and I was frustrated, and I said, how come, I can't get any EVPs, and you're giving this lady them at will, and it said, you're a jerk, very clearly and loudly.
Oh.
Very smart.
They didn't like you.
Very smart spirit, yeah.
Didn't like you.
Oh, my God.
That's pretty creepy. That's pretty creepy.
Oh, and Victor and Linda just got back to their hotel after seeing The Conjuring. I'm going to see them tomorrow. They drove all the way up here.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
We'll hear about that later.
Oh. Wow.
I haven't seen that yet.
How about some of the equipment? What equipment do you use? Which ones do you find most? Which ones do you like better, or what have you gotten most evidence with?
Well, we have 3 cases of equipment, but what I like to use is a video recorder. My recorder, because sometimes I'll put it in a different room. If we were downstairs, if it was a 2-story house. Just your basic, actually, because I just find that so much, I don't go into this high-tech stuff, I guess, because I just use the basic, but we have 3 cases of equipment. But but I just like to use the basic stuff because that's what, you used to use, way back. God, I've been doing this, 27 years? So, yeah, it's just your basic equipment. I know they come out with a lot of new things, and it's really interesting. You can catch, but how often can you catch something, on the kinetic? We have used the kinetic, which was interesting, actually, to me. I wouldn't mind getting that for myself. I don't have it, but one of my friends had it that came on an investigation with me. But I just use the basic stuff, like a camera, video, audio.
Yeah. And you have I saw that you have an investigation, I don't know if I misread it or not, coming up in June 16th or something?
June 18th.
Did you talk to them already? What's the story behind that one? Do you know?
Oh, yeah. They have claimed they see shadows, and actually the 4-year-old see shadows. And then the father, when he was walking down the hall, saw a shadow, and it was of a man, and it wouldn't go away.
Ooh.
And then he left. Like, he was the only one there by himself, so evidently, you know, he didn't have a witness to it. But, yeah, so we should be going there on June 18th.
I want to know what happened there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And for everybody, go on to Greater Texas Paranormal Society's webpage, and you can keep up with that investigation. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. How many? I have a question. I know we're about to finish here, but how often do you get called out on cases? I mean, is it once a month, twice a month, every other month?
Oh, my God. We've been busy for the past 7 months. We've been doing like 1-2 cases a month for the past 7 months. I took the month of May off because I needed a rest.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, I know it's crazy, but that's okay. And I teased my husband because I said, well, the only date night that we have is on an investigation. So, and that's what we do. So after, you know, we go on the investigation, we'll go have something to eat and stuff like that and talk about the case, you know, with our other investigators. So that's what we do. That's our date night, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I took the month of May off, so we're starting back up. So hopefully we'll be more busy.
Well, guess what?
It's time to go. It's sad.
It's time.
Oh, my God.
Thank you, Deborah, very much. Next week we have Sharon Clark of Pockham Paranormal, author and paranormal investigator. She'll jet in all the way from Ireland. Good night, Brock, Jennifer, Dr. David, thank you. Paul, thank you. Listeners, see you next week.
Later.
Bye.